In 2009, a guy named Marcus had $3,000 in a shoebox. 10 years later, he never touched that money again, and it turned into $47,000. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how he did it and how you can do the same thing, starting this week. Marcus wasn't a genius. He wasn't a stockbroker. He was a warehouse worker in Ohio making $16 an hour. But Marcus understood one thing most people never learn. Money doesn't need you to work harder. Money needs to work for you. Most of us were taught to trade time for money. Go to work, get a paycheck, repeat for 40 years. But there's a second system running quietly in the background of every wealthy person's life, a system where the money itself gets a job. Today, I'm walking you through 10 real, proven ways to build that system. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see money completely differently. Let's get into it. Marcus's story starts with something so simple, most people ignore it. Compound interest. He put that $3,000 into an index fund and never added another dollar. He just let it sit. The stock market historically returns about 7–10% a year after inflation. That doesn't sound exciting until you watch what happens over time. Year 1, his $3,000 grew by about $240. Small, boring, forgettable. But by year 10, that same percentage was working on a much bigger number, and the growth started snowballing on itself. Albert Einstein reportedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether he actually said that or not, the math backs it up. The lesson here isn't invest more. It's this: time in the market beats timing the market. Every year you wait to start is a year of growth you can never get back, but Marcus didn't stop there. A few years in, he discovered something that changed how he thought about owning stocks entirely: dividends. See, some companies, think Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, share their profits directly with shareholders. Just for owning a piece of the company, they mail you a check every quarter, like clockwork. Marcus started buying dividend-paying stocks and reinvesting every single payout back into more shares. This is called a DRIP, a dividend reinvestment plan. It's a silent little machine. You don't have to do anything. The company pays you, and that payment buys you more ownership, which pays you more next time. It's not flashy. But flashy isn't what builds wealth. Consistency does. Now here's where the story gets interesting. In 2014, Marcus's uncle passed away and left him a small duplex, nothing fancy, just an old 2-unit house in a working-class neighborhood. Marcus could have sold it. Instead, he rented out both units. After the mortgage, taxes, and repairs, he cleared about $400 a month. Not life-changing money, but here's the key lesson: someone else was paying down his mortgage for him. Every month, tenants built his equity. Every year, the property appreciated. He wasn't just collecting rent, he was collecting ownership. Real estate lets you use other people's money, the banks, through a mortgage, and the tenants, through rent, to build your own asset. Here's something Marcus almost missed completely. His job offered a 401k with a company match, meaning if he put in 5% of his paycheck, his employer would match it. For 2 years, Marcus skipped it. He thought he couldn't afford to set money aside. Then a coworker told him something that stuck: you're leaving free money on the table. A 401k match is literally a 100% return on your money, instantly, before it even has a chance to grow. Marcus started contributing that same week. Looking back, he calls those 2 skipped years his most expensive mistake. Not every dollar needs to be in the stock market, though. Marcus kept an emergency fund, 6 months of expenses, sitting untouched in a regular bank account earning almost nothing. Then he moved it into a high-yield savings account. Same safety, same access to his cash, but instead of earning basically 0%, it started earning several percent a year, just for existing. This is one of the easiest wins in personal finance. Your safety net should still be working. Even while it sits still. As Marcus got older, his goals shifted. He didn't need to chase huge growth anymore. He needed stability. That's when he started learning about bonds. Think of a bond as loaning your money to a government or a company. In return, they pay you interest on a schedule and give your original money back at the end. Bonds won't make you rich quickly, but they balance out the ups and downs of the stock market. The lesson here: wealth isn't just about growing money, it's about protecting what you've already built. Now, this next part of Marcus's story surprised even him. His daughter loved making digital planners on her laptop. Just for fun, Marcus helped her list them online. They made $40 that first month. It felt like nothing. But that $40 came from a product they built once and sold over and over, with zero extra work per sale. This is the idea of passive income through digital products, courses, templates, ebooks, printables. You put in the effort once, up front. After that, it can sell while you sleep, while you're at work, while you're on vacation. It's not instant riches, but it's proof that your effort doesn't have to be tied to your paycheck forever. Here's something Marcus did that made everything else on this list easier. He automated it. He set up an automatic transfer, a fixed amount, moved from his checking account into his investments every single payday, before he could spend it or talk himself out of it. This is called paying yourself first. Most people invest whatever's left over at the end of the month, which is usually nothing. Marcus flipped the order. Saving happened first. Spending happened with whatever was left. Automation removes willpower from the equation. And willpower, as we all know, runs out. By his late 30s, Marcus learned a lesson that a lot of people never do. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. He started using a Roth IRA alongside his 401k. The difference matters. In a traditional 401k, you get a tax break now, but pay taxes later when you withdraw. In a Roth IRA, you pay taxes now, but every dollar of growth after that, years and years of it, comes out completely tax-free in retirement. Marcus wasn't dodging taxes. He was being strategic about when he paid them. The government gives you legal tools to keep more of your own money. Most people just never use them, and this brings us back to where we started. 10 years after that $3,000 went into an index fund, Marcus checked the account almost by accident. It had grown to $47,000. He hadn't traded stocks. He hadn't timed the market. He hadn't done anything dramatic at all. He just used all 9 of these tools: dividends, real estate, employer matches, high-yield savings, bonds, passive income, automation, tax-advantaged accounts, and compound growth, and then he did the hardest part of all. Here's the truth nobody tells you when you're starting out. Building wealth isn't about one big win. It's not a lottery ticket, and it's not a lucky stock pick. It's 10 small systems working quietly in the background of your life, all at the same time. Marcus didn't start with a big salary. He didn't inherit a fortune. He just stopped trading only his time for money and started letting his money trade for him too. So here's my question for you. Out of these 10 methods, which one have you not started yet? Because the truth is, you don't need all 10 today. You just need to start one. If this video gave you value, hit subscribe, because next week, I'm breaking down exactly how much money you need in each of these categories to retire comfortably by 50. You won't want to miss it. See you in the next one. Which of these 10 are you starting first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.